Hi there, thanks for clicking on what will be my first model car review, and the subject I've chosen for that is a 1:18 scale Citroen XM. Now, this model car was released by a company called Solido in May 1989 to coincide with the release of the real car. Up until that point, the only real 1:18 scale models that you could get were from a company called Brago or Politstil, which I'm a big fan of both of those. They mainly did sports and rally cars. I remember seeing this particular model car in the 1990 Solido catalogue, and I remember thinking how amazing it was to have a model of this scale of what was a saloon road-going production car. At the time, it was about 3 times the price of a Brago, so the chances of me owning one were very slim. This particular model I was lucky enough, which is incidentally mint and boxed. I received this from a good collector friend of mine in a trade. I was very happy to finally have one of these in my collection, nearly 26 years after I first saw it. So the detail on the model, we'll have a look at that first. Bearing in mind this model was released in 1989, so it's not really comparable with modern French model cars by Automobile or the German manufacturers. However, it does stand up pretty well in my opinion. We'll just get a general overview of the car first, and then we'll look at it in more detail. One of the unusual things about this model car is that it doesn't have opening doors, which I think is to the benefit of the model, because Citroen XM is a very sleek, fluid appearance, and to have unsightly panel gaps I think would spoil the model. So as you can see, no opening doors, but all around the model we have a nice smooth appearance. So the first thing, paintwork on the model, metallic silver. Probably doesn't pick up very well on the camera, but it's a pretty nice job for 1989. The only thing that probably gives the age of the car away, if you come round to the front, just try and focus in on the headlights there, there we go, you can see the little pegs that hold the headlights in are visible. It doesn't detract from it too much. It's a little bit dark there, you can't see the French number plate on there, and the separate indicators, you can just about see that there. Onto the wheels, very nice design of the wheels, nice accurate design. Rubber tyres, and of course being a Citroen it's got soft springy suspension. Stepping back from the model a little bit, you can see all these pieces of trim, they're all separate plastic, separate handles, separate mirrors. A little bit chunky by today's standards, but again, bearing in mind it's 1989, I think it adds to the feel of the model. I tend to favour a little bit of crudeness, retro crudeness, over something that's perfectly detailed. So we will move round to the back of the car. Apologies for not having the turntable. It's my wife's chopping boards, which she doesn't use as chopping boards, are ornamental, so let's not put a mark on them. Round to the back of the car again, very nice detail on the lights. You can just see the little pegs, but you know, that's okay. The fit of the bumper isn't perfect, but again, it just adds to the appeal of the model for me. The only 2 items in this model that open are the boot, which is quite a fragile, it's just that's all just plastic, there's no metal in there at all, that's just decals. Opens up, got to be careful, it's a fragile plastic hinge, and as you can see, it's also got an interior convex window as well, so it's actually not it's got a hatchback door, but it's actually a saloon. One of the quirky details of this car, which makes it a proper Citroen in my eyes. We'll move around to the side of the car. Just take a little moment to focus in on the interior detail. Oh, it's doing it already for me, that's kind. Don't know if you can really see that there, I'm trying to get my fingers out of the lens. You can see the interior detail is pretty sharp for 1989. Dashboard very well executed. It's all in grey, but the real car probably was as well. All the heater vents. For me, I think the fact that the doors don't open makes the detail a lot finer. Nice detail on the seats there. I don't think you can get much better than that. Nice separate mirrors. One thing you'll notice about the model is the light change on it. It's got this excellent green tinted glass. Don't know if you can make that out in the camera there. It's a nice retro feature. Not sure if the real car had that, but certainly it adds to the appeal of the model for me. And the other opening feature that it had was the bonnet. It's a bit tricky to open, I'll try my best. Camera in one hand, so is it going to work? Yep. Just take a wee second to open that. There we go, and it's got the V6 engine. Quite a basic detail. The camera doesn't pick up that well, but there's not a lot to see. But again, for me that adds to the overall appeal. Let's close that carefully. Separate windscreen wipers, and just a nice overall view of the car. Apologies for the shaky lines, just an iPhone. Now this particular one I believe is a dealer one. I think you could get it in a window box as well. I prefer these type of boxes where it's polystyrene interior, cardboard exterior with a nice image of the car. So the image is slightly, if you can see that there, it's slightly crude. It's not, they didn't have Photoshop in 1989, whatever they had. But it certainly again adds to the nice retro appeal of the box. Pretty good condition. There's one bash on that side, but again, I don't know if I mentioned my friend was the first person to take it out of the packaging, so I was one of the second. It's never been displayed until I've had it. I certainly don't see the point in keeping models locked up in my boxes. If it gets a bit of dust, well, it's alright. So that's the 1989 Citroen XM, one of my favourite models. That's why I chose it as the first one. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.